Hello, and welcome to another video. I really enjoyed this one, and I think you're going to enjoy it too. Today I am in blue as the Goths, and MortyMaine is in green as the Turks. We are playing on Arena, our favorite map. We are going against purple as the Romans, and yellow as the Incas. So as Goths, you would expect that I would go for an early Castle Age, boom up a little bit, get some eco, and then just spam infantry for most of the game. Um, as Turks, you would expect that Morty would go fast Imperial Age, make hand cannons and bombard cannons, and just absolutely wreck someone. Purple, as Romans, you generally see scorpions with them. Siege units, also maybe infantry. And with the Incas, they often go Kamukes, which are really good against cavalry, but also good against just about any other units as well. Um, in fact, I'm in particular kind of scared of the Incas because they get slingers as well, which are great against infantry. And then if he castle drops me with Kamukes, I don't really have a good answer for that. So because of that, I did already click Castle Age, but I went to Stone to try to get a castle in defense. I happened to be over here and noticed Yellow's Eagle Scout come out of the walls. So this was actually really good heads-up play on my part. I killed the Eagle Scout. Knowing that he lost his Eagle Scout gave me some peace of mind that I was not going to get a forward castle on me. So it gave me a little bit of peace of mind there. He is going to Stone. I don't know that, but he is going to Stone. I feel a little bit better that it might not come directly onto my walls at the start of Castle Age. However, Purple, on the other hand, is sending villagers forward, along with some spearmen. Gonna walk through a couple of wolves, but he's got loom, or now he does. He's got loom, so he's gonna be fine. Those villagers are headed for the front of Morty's base. Now let's see when Morty notices. I'm already going out there to grab some relics. Morty noticed this right away. This one villager's already making it, and he told me, and telling me, I was like, okay, let me send my scout. My thought process is I could maybe harass some of these villagers, at least slow down the castle, give Morty a little more time to react. Also, just scout to see what else might be being built over here. Maybe Yellow is building a siege workshop or some other building to try to join the attack and for a 2v1. Unfortunately, there's a bunch of spearmen there, so I'm not going to get any harassing on the villagers. I am going to continue to walk around, loop around the castle here to see what I can see. I'm just looking for any buildings or maybe some villagers. Unfortunately, I did not see those in real time. So we do not know yet that it is a 2v1. But at this point, Morty is in Castle Age, and his way out of this is just to keep the units out and go Imperial Age. So he is going to go make the Monastery and Siege Workshop. He's making it in the back because he doesn't want the enemy to realize that he is actually going for a fast imp. So the enemy doesn't see that. But Morty's going to try to keep the army out. And I think he realizes about this point that, we've got gonna have a hole in the wall here. Got Centurions coming around. Centurions are the Roman unique unit, a cavalry unit, pretty strong. And so now Morty's like, okay, I got to build a forward siege workshop to make some mangonels to try to make sure this army does not get in. I'm making a castle out in front of my base just to sort of protect from anything Yellow might be sending my way, because again, I don't know that Yellow is already here with villagers just waiting in Purple's castle. I just think Yellow could be coming out my way at any moment. I do have a barracks, but I'm not making a lot of military. I'm mainly just getting relics. I think that Morty's got this under control. We're watching this in real time. This house is just barely staying up with the two villagers repairing. But unfortunately, there's a ram coming in. The mangonel's only about 60%. So Morty's going to have to really think, how do I keep this out? He's like, I want to keep this up, but I want to keep this up. How about I make some more behind it? There's the mangonel finally. He's going to take the mangonel. That's when we spotted the villagers. Almost went for the villagers. Ended up going for the ram, but unfortunately the centurions got in. The ram is in. Now the villagers are in, and we know immediately what this means. Villagers walking in the hole means a castle on the face. That's what we call it when the enemy builds a castle directly on your town center. Basically, establishing that he's in control, you're not going to be able to use that town center. He's taken this spot. We're not going to be able to stop that. They killed that siege workshop fast. They definitely don't realize there's another one over here, and that Morty is almost to imp. It is with this town center, but it's fine. He'll survive. Unfortunately, didn't garrison this TC to kill these units, but town bell's rung. Everyone's gonna run to a town center. Unfortunately, purple's getting a lot of kills here. Honestly, it's a lot to deal with at the moment. Rams coming in for the TC over here. Castle being put up on this TC. The message they're sending is you're not getting out of this game alive. I am trying to send a few units this way. I sent a few pikemen in there. Yellow's actually using a villager to try to wall me out, to keep me from walking into Morty's base. Kind of cheeky there. Morty's able to kill all of this purple army with the TC to fend off that ram, but he's going to have to keep trying there. He's also going to have to delete this gate to let me in, because of that cheeky wall that Yellow made there. I'm making pikes, and that's going to be great against the Centurions, but Yellow has a castle now, and so that's going to change things. So Morty's got to fend off these rams again. The best thing to do here is to fight it with villagers, but you also have to notice it and to react to it in real time. It's really tough to do. Now he's going to go in with the villagers. Killed one ram, going to kill the other. As soon as he kills that ram, I think this push is dead, because the rest will die to the TC fire. And yes, so the rest of those purple units will die eventually. But Morty has a siege workshop unit, and he's already making bombards. But unfortunately, we already see a problem here. That's the Kamukes. Unfortunately, this castle means Kamukes, and I can't really deal with the Kamukes. Morty at this point doesn't have any army that can deal with the Kamukes. These pikemen, although they're similar unit to the Kamuke just has a lot better stats, and kind of importantly, it has +1 range, so it can actually attack from 2 tiles away because it has a really long spear. So it's always going to get the first hit. Purple is making scorpions. Yellow has very rudely taken the original town center spot from Morty and stolen all these farms. So he's going to farm for free out here. And Morty's going to try to mass up these bombards. And we're just trying to keep this army alive, keep the bombards alive. Still got the TC over here, just kind of barely hanging on. Now, the good thing about the bombards is they can actually handle the scorpions. Pikes for the Centurions, meat shield against the Kamukes, but they're not going to kill them. But thankfully, these bombards can really get some good damage in on these scorpions. So that was something like 8 scorpions, and Morty is able to clear up all of those scorpions, actually. While my pikes are fighting the Kamukes, he's actually killed off another part of the army that would have made it even more difficult to deal with. So good job on his part to focus down those scorpions. He's going to focus down a couple more as well. And I'm just kind of trying to keep these units away from the bombard. I know that I can't kill them, so I'm just kind of trying to distract them. We really need to come up with an answer for the Kamukes. And I don't think we realize it just yet, but I think that answer is the hand cannons. And now is when Morty is deciding, okay, I just need to make a couple of archery ranges, get some hand cannons. Because he's an Imperial Age after all. Nobody else is an Imperial Age. He doesn't have to make a university to get chemistry. He just gets it for free. So all he needs is a siege workshop for bombards and some archery ranges for some hand cannons. And he's going to go ahead and get that production started now. That is our long-term solution to these Kamukes. 10 Kamukes, that's going to kill pretty much any army we have. It doesn't even make sense to make more bombards at this point, not until we can protect them. I am still streaming in units over here. Yellow's going to build a second castle, which is actually going to do a fairly good job of blocking my access to Morty's base and blocking Morty in over here. I'm actually thinking about a counterattack on Yellow. So I'm sending villagers forward to castle drop here and start an attack over here to kind of take some pressure off of Morty. Unfortunately, Yellow's got these mangonels over here, and I don't realize it. Meanwhile, Morty's getting a couple of good splashes on the villagers making the castle. In fact, they're going to run away because they're going to die. So he's delaying that castle. Purple's sending the rams in for Morty's TC. I don't think Morty realizes it. I think he does now. He's actually using the Bombard to try to get the ram, but I think that Bombard's getting some extra damage on the TC as well. So the TC goes down, but so does the ram. So do the Centurions. And Morty can just, especially if I sent him some stone to make sure he could do it, he can just build another town center there, start making those hand cannons, and he'll be alright in the long term. So there's that second town center. Unfortunately, those mangonels, I don't even think Yellow saw this. I think these mangonels actually just reacted on their own. And it's just absolutely wrecking what I have over here. I'm going to have to give that up. So that counterattack failed. Honestly, good idea, just, really well executed on his part to have these here in defense. I really think he was doing that just to protect against the castle drop. There's really no other reason to do it. But Morty's got the Bombard kicking away at the town center, the rude town center, that's what I'm calling it. And he's starting to make the hand cannons. So let's see, does Yellow notice the hand cannons yet? Okay, I think Yellow is just now starting to notice the hand cannons. But I don't think he sees how many there are. There's only 4 hand cannons. There's 7 Kamukes and a very weak Bombard. But guess what? None of these Kamukes are going to be able to get a hit in on the Bombard, because these hand cannons are absolutely wrecking. In fact, he's got so many queued up that he's going to have an army large enough that he can take on pretty much anything these guys are sending his way. He doesn't even need me. Although I am going to send another army of pikes around. I actually tried to task them far around the castle as I could to avoid getting hit by it, but thankfully he actually was target firing the siege workshop. So he had clicked the castle to target the siege workshop, probably to try to keep Morty from making more bombards. Fairly good play on his part, but it did allow me to get some more pikes in for the fight over here. I'm also building a siege workshop and some rams over here, going to put some infantry in it, try to go in from the other side while Morty starts this fight from this side. And honestly, at this point, I think we're completely turning this around. In fact, we've got the score lead. So Morty's absolutely wrecking these buildings just with the 1 Bombard cannon and a dream. Now he's got the hand cannons to support it and a few of my pikes, and that's going to be enough to really push all this back and push it back quickly. Bombards destroy buildings fast, especially now that he got another siege workshop up, having lost this one. And he's going to make some more bombards. Meanwhile, I am also thinking about, I really want that counterattack in on Yellow. So I've got a couple of petards in my castle, and I'm thinking, well, what unit do I want to go in with? I'm thinking, well, Yellow's been so invested forward that he doesn't have anything at home. Going in will be like a knife through butter. So really all I'll need is something to not die to TC fire. That's all he's going to have in defense is TCs. So I'm thinking, I guess that means I'll make some Huskarls. Meanwhile, I had the pikes here for the Centurions, but it turns out if you shoot them in the face, they die too. Morty's clearing up this second castle in here, and guess what? If Yellow doesn't have castles, he can't make Kamukes. Kamukes are no longer a problem for us. Other than the ones that are still out here. He's still got 14 of them out here. But they are not long for this world. The hand cannons are moving forward. The Bombards are going to take out that castle after they take out the Kamukes. Bombard's a little out of position. Kamukes are actually targeting the wrong Bombard, thankfully, and these hand cannons are absolutely wrecking. No more Kamukes. They are all dying. Oh, all at once. These Bombards are surviving. The Rams are headed for the castle. He's actually going to convert one of these Rams. Bombards are going to come for the castle from the other direction. Yellow is kind of unwisely trying to build a town center up here. This was a rude TC. This was a stupid TC. You've got Bombards right here, and an army you can't stop. This is going to die faster than it goes up. In fact, you're not even going to get it up because I happened to spot it. Send my units over there. Meanwhile, still massing an army to go in for Yellow. Morty is going to plug the holes in his base, start rebuilding his eco, continue to make army, and we're just going to go immediately forward. We don't want to give them any time to react. So at this point, Purple 54 villagers, Yellow only 39. He had so many villagers forward. He had that rude TC and the stupid TC. He's sitting here at 39 villagers right now. I've got 67. So he doesn't have the eco to keep up with anything I bring his way. And guess what? It's about to get there. Meanwhile, still an army up here. We're going to send the Rams forward, the Bombards forward. Petards get in. The Mangonels are not good at attacking moving units unless you are paying attention and you use the attack ground feature. He does finally see that this is happening, but that's 6 Huskarls. Huskarls have extra pierce armor, 8 pierce armor, so they don't die to TCs very fast. They can take lots of hits from the TCs. Coming right in for Purple, giving them no time whatsoever. You guys were incredibly rude to Morty. Now we're going to make you pay, and we're going to make you pay fast. Not going to even have a chance to recover. Meanwhile, I'm just kind of exploring Yellow's base, see what he has here. All it is TCs. He does manage to plug the hole, so good job on his part. So I can't get any more units in, but I do have 6 units on the inside right now that he doesn't have a way to deal with. Meanwhile, Morty has taken out the gate, fortified gate, in fact, from Purple. Purple is making infantry. Morty's taking out his barracks, but he's got hand cannons to absolutely wreck the infantry. So infantry's not going to get very far. Going to go in for the production. We even see the castle at this point, and Morty's going to target those Bombards on it. Yellow's trying like mad to just sort of get any production buildings up to make military. He's trying to get 3, 4, 5 barracks down, and these just 4 or 5 infantry I've got in there absolutely denies all that, and he resigns. And now Blue has no path forward. Centurions made a last-ditch effort to try to kill at least one Bombard cannon. They didn't make it happen, so the game is over. What a great comeback. You saw the 2v1 against Morty over here. Morty almost got the quick walls and the mangonel to keep him out altogether. Most importantly, he got to Imperial Age. Even when the units came in, even when the castle was directly on his face, even when he had a castle blocking his only escape, all he needed was a Bombard cannon and a dream, and that's what he had. And that's all we needed to keep this from getting completely out of control and to turn it around. He's even plugged the holes, built a couple of TCs, and continued the fight forward. Let's take a quick look at the statistics. Military, Morty has a pretty good KD, 68-26. Turns out hand cannons kill a lot of things, especially Castle Age things. He killed 15 buildings as well. Lost 18, but those 15 that he killed were all in the last like 3 or 4 minutes. So that was a really big tide turn there. I had a pretty big army. In fact, early on, even in early Castle Age, I had a 22, 23 unit army there. And then eventually got up to 49 as we made that simultaneous attack on yellow and green. Economy, I had the best economy primarily because I had the most villagers at 71. That's not a full boom. A full boom would be about 100 villagers, but it was more than anybody else. My eco was untouched. In fact, I was able to send Morty resources throughout the game to make sure that we were able to make those strong Imperial Age units that got us out of this mess. Um, Actually, it managed to pick up all 5 relics as well, so 3,000 gold extra there. That came in handy, spreading that around among the team, making those bombards, making those hand cannons. Um, Pretty good Imperial Age timing for Morty, actually, especially considering that he had a castle dropped on his face and was trying to build buildings at the front to wall out the units. So to do all of that and click imp at a reasonable time was really important in this game. You can see here, at one point Morty had 32 villagers, but then the units got in. He fell all the way to 15 villagers, but was able to get that army going, that army production, and eventually clear out his base and start making more units. Ended up with 27 villagers again, nearly double the low that he had. Meanwhile, Yellow at one point did have a fair number of villagers, but didn't ever get enough to compete after the tide was turned there. Really great game. We were really happy afterwards that we stuck it out and turned it around because really all he needed was a bombard and a dream.